Today we're going to be talking about how to draw fractions using fair shares. I'm going to start off by showing you how to draw a half, which is the easiest. You need to make sure that your rectangles or your fraction bars are even, and that one's not, so let me erase that really quickly. We want our fraction bars to be about as equal as we can make it. We don't want one side thicker than the other or thinner than the other. And then to make half, we just draw down the center. Try to make sure it's as equal as you possibly can. Now to draw fourths, we just use the halves to help us. So I'm going to draw another bar underneath the half. I'm going to make it about the same size. I'm going to look at it to make sure that I don't have a pregnant whale. I'm going to split this bar in half, and then I'm going to split each half in half, and now I have 1/4. And I forgot to label this one, so I'll go back and label this one. Now I can use fourths to help me draw my eighths. So I'm going to draw another bar. And again, I want it to be about as equal as I can. I call a fraction bar that is not equal or one end is thicker than the other a pregnant whale, but they should know that. So I'm going to start off by cutting my bar in half to make halves, and then cut it into fourths to make fourths, and then I'm going to cut each fourth in half. And again, I'm going to try to make it about as fair as I can. And I understand it's probably not going to be perfect, but you can get pretty close. And then these are all eighths. So you can use the halves to get you to your fourths, and then you can use fourths to get you to your eighths. So the next fraction that we're going to try to draw are our thirds, sixths, and twelfths. So let me just erase this really quickly. To draw your thirds, first thing you need is one of those fraction bars. They're also called Singapore strips, so you may see it on your fraction written as, or on your homework, sorry, written as Singapore strips. They're the same thing. To draw your thirds, you're going to kind of have to eyeball this one. You just draw two lines, and then you kind of back up to see if you made a fair share, which those pretty much are. So these are our thirds. Now to draw your sixths, you just draw another fraction bar and then divide it into thirds, and then divide each third in half. And there you got your sixth. Oh, that is not a fair share. Hold on. Now to draw your twelfths, you're just going to use your sixth to help you. So you're going to draw another bar. And then you're going to divide it into thirds. You're going to divide each third in half to make sixths. And then you're going to divide each sixth in half to make a twelfth. And so these are our 12ths. So you can use your thirds to help you get to your sixths, which can help you get to your 12ths. So now we're going to do fifths and tenths. So let me erase all of this. Fifths are a little bit more difficult to draw. Not impossible, but just a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to have my fraction bar or Singapore strip. And I start by eyeballing and taking out the center part of my fraction bar. And then the two outer ends, I divide in half. So those are fifths. Now you can use your fifths to help you get you to your tenths. And I'm just pulling these bars down from the fifths at the top. Then all you have to do is just cut each fifth in half. And there you go, you got your tenths. And that is how we draw our fraction pieces.